This is just a typical fall deal. You got a wind blowing in on the bank, blowing in the bait. Air temperatures finally gotten cold in the last week, and so it just puts them in that mode where they're gonna start chasing bait. And the best thing to do, in my opinion, is pick up a dogma and go to walking it right across their nose. And if you get it close to him and he's chasing a shad, he's fixing to eat it. Every single time. Please don't get a hook in there. That's not going to win a big bass tournament, but I will have fun catching them. Look at that. He looks like me. Look at that. Holy cow. It's like my cousin. All right. Back at it. Oh. Oh. Got him. Dude, that one hit that thing when it hit the water. Just little ones. I mean, little guys on the dogma. So they're feeding on small bait. So that's a perfect imitator, and I like this. It's got a little clear hue to it. I think it makes it hard for them to tell what size it is, but you can cast it a long ways. And I think that's key when fish feed on small bait in the fall. I like a small profile topwater with a, with a clear hue. Uh-oh, excuse me, we're being interrupted. There they go, right there. Come on. They're everywhere. Everywhere. See if we can get another one. Well, we're 3 for 3 so far, pretty much. No big ones. There's some good ones in here though. Every time. The only thing about 6th Sense lures that you ever need to worry about is making sure you keep these treble hooks out of your hands. Because on every bait right out of the pack, they're pretty daggum sharp, like emergency room sharp. So anytime I'm fishing, especially with little guys like this, you better be careful. But that's one thing I've noticed over the years is how sharp, all the hooks are right out of the pack. Come on. So something that's happening right here where we're at is I'm throwing my dogma, right? And this smaller profile bait, you can still throw it a long ways because of the way it's weighted. So that's what I'm utilizing around these small bait. But what's happening to me right now, as you can see, the wind's building and so are the waves. So this bait, the profile of it will get lost in the waves. You gotta land right on him. So you can also switch it up. Just go big or go home, right? Go to the big mag dog. So I can cast it a mile, but you can see when I pick it up, it'll cut right through this stuff. A lot bigger profile. And wake them up in case they can't see my dogman out the waves have gotten up. I'm gonna keep switching it up between the two. And you like to think that if there's a real big one around under a lot of those little shad and little bass wanting a big gizzard, nothing's gonna imitate that big gizzard like this dogma. The mag dog. But basically, for me in the fall, I keep hearing them. I don't see them. For me in the fall, I can take about 3 topwaters with me and do about all the damage I need to do, and just cover water, because fish are chasing shad. Most right at the trolling motor. Here comes one. See how that mag dog just cuts through there, spits a lot of water. Look, trying to get it, didn't get it. Huge profile though. Now, a lot of guys throw a what's become really popular the last few years is a pencil popper style bait that has a cup mouth. This has not really a cup mouth, but the way it cuts through the water, it's just like a pencil popper to me. In the same action, it's that big profile. And it spits a lot of water, but with a lot of pencil popper style baits, it depends on the brand. A lot of them are really lightweight, even if they're a really long bait. This mag dog, you better make sure you got plenty of braid on your reel, because you can throw it as far as you want to throw it. I promise. So if you're on like clear water spotted bass lakes, blueback herring lakes, where that pencil popper style bite is good, you get you some of these mag dogs. And those clear water fish, sometimes you got to make really, really, really long casts to get to them when they're chasing. This joker right here, you can put it on them and not get too close with your boat. Spook. I just threw that one all the way to Toledo Bend, right there. And I don't know what happens when I hook one out there. Well, might catch one on a crankbait here in a minute. So many of them, dude. So many. They're all under us. They just keep going back down and suspending when they get knocked back. I might catch them on that, put on a crankbait, catch them when they go down, or a swimmer. All right, I love fishing schooling fish in the fall, and the problem that a lot of people run into, there are different conditions every day, whether you got a lot of wind, you get a lot of fronts in the fall, so you may have one day that's just slick as glass, and then you may have another day that's really rough. And then the other problem you run into is the size of the bait fish that bass key on, and that is the most simple statement in fishing, is match the hatch, but it is so unbelievably true, especially in the fall. So I like a lot of the bait runs small in the fall, and one of the things that I always start with is a dogma. I like a small bait. You can cast this thing a really, really, really long ways. It's a really good walking bait. But if they're on a little bit bigger bait, you know, and maybe I got some wind, I'll step up to that Dogma 115, and this is just kind of your simple walking bait. Really cuts through the water good, casts really well, but just the big brother. And I'll do that a lot if fish are feeding on 4 and 5 inch shad. A lot of times they're feeding on like 3 inch and under this time of year. So the Dogmas really play a lot for me. But then now a new tool in my arsenal is the Mag Dog 130. And the Mag Dog is so hard to put in a box as just a walking bait. It's tail weighted. You can cast this thing as far as you want to. I know that sounds silly, but if you've got the line to support it, you can cast this thing. It cuts through the water almost like a pencil popper style bait, but you can see it does not have that cupped lip like a pencil popper. And the problem for me on a lot of pencil popper styles, especially some of the newer styles, they're fairly light. I mean, you can cast them a good ways, but this thing weighs substantially more than any one of those I've ever seen. But you can see in a comparison, this is what people consider a big topwater a lot of times. Well, take a look at the Mag Dog compared to what has been our biggest walking bait. And if you get fish, especially where I'm from on the Tennessee River, we're here at Sam Rayburn Lake, these fish feed on, the big fish feed on big gizzard shad. You may not get many bites, okay? But this thing right here is going to call up a big one.